Hi beautiful soul family. So I was doing a short and I got a message which I did a short about, but then Divine showed me that as I was going to pack it away that there needs to be more into what we discussed. So I'm Soul Star. I hope you all are having an amazing day. So I'm an intuitive tarot reader. A lot more comes through as I'm using the cards. So I'm sure which cards to get and what, so on and so forth. So the message today is that you've had quite a few experiences in in relationships where even though you've met different people, they've always, you thought that this person was complete opposite to the last person that you was with, and you know and each time the relationships ended very similar, um, and you've constantly always felt like you was like trying to get time from people that just wasn't prepared to give you the time, but yet you put in so much hard work and effort into each relationship. They're saying that there was a lot obviously to do with yourself because you had a lot of insecurities from maybe childhood. Well, no, from childhood. They're saying from childhood. So a lot of that was not healed because obviously we didn't know how to do that. And they're saying that um, it constantly came up in your relationships, like quite a lot of it was very similar to what you went through as a child. Obviously different aspects, but relatively the same. And each time it came up was, for us to heal that situation. So these people, they kept replaying and replaying and replaying. So it's always been very similar to what you've always received. Um, like I say, you was constantly, feeling like you was in trickery mode. Like you always had somebody who was out to stick the knife in your back, if you will, talk behind your back, slander you. Always, like, they came in all loving, kind, caring. You felt like you'd landed on your feet, like they was just perfect. Like they'd gone through whatever they'd gone through, and they was ready to grow by the time you met them. But it was always, it was an illusion. It was trickery. Like I say, you always felt like you was um, either begging for time, and then you always felt like you was, going through a landmine, if you will, that you always felt like you was walking on eggshells, that no matter what you did, it was never good enough, and you always begged for, I say begged, but that's basically how they made you feel when you was asking for their time, because in the beginning they always wanted to give you a lot of time, and then as you started to fall in love, you started to feel depleted. You literally felt like you was the only one putting in the effort. And this was for us to see and understand um, how to love ourselves. This is where Divine had you look at your shadow self, had you, really truly looking at yourself, really truly going in and doing the inner healing work, because you was wounded on the inside, and they really wanted you to see how truly beautiful that you really are, because you had to go through the death of the old self because you was ready to, you was really ready to give in. I mean, whatever that means to you. I mean, we all have different ways, but you was truly, you was done. You'd really truly had enough. You was ready to walk away and leave everything. You started to feel like you wasn't good enough, like you was depleted. Like I say, you was ready to leave everything behind. you've gone through so much that, you know, you really, 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 like, gave up. You just thought that this was going to be like this forever. You really, really felt like, you know, I'm done. And then that's when Divine stepped in. You got help. You was given help. And, you know, because when, you know, when you was ready to give in, you nearly lost everything. You really lost everything, including your mind. And this is when you started to, you know, when you got this help, you had somebody particular or people who you was, you know, you was given that help to go in and reflect. You know, you was truly at that point where you was really ready to start seeing the inner self, because like I said, you truly was at a point where if this help wouldn't have come in, Divine saying that it was a lot. It truly was a lot. And you started to do the inner work. You started to focus more about, whereas normally when a relationship would end, it wouldn't be long and then you'd meet somebody else. Because you needed to keep filling your cup, but no matter how much you tried filling your cup, as if like there was a hole in it and it was just seeping out. So they really wanted you to go within and do the inner work. So you started to feel worthy. You started maybe going for walks by yourself, whereas probably you wouldn't have done that before unless you was with someone. You really started to do that inner work. You really started to go within and, you know, your spiritual self. You found a new way of, you know, balancing yourself. That you started to see that you didn't just have, you know, like you was always told you was this, you was that from the other people, and you started to feel really awful. But then Spirit showed you that you are beautiful on the inside. That this wasn't to destroy you, this was literally to help you heal. And that once you began to heal, you started to see that there was more to you than you ever realised that there was before. You wasn't just somebody's partner, somebody's mother, somebody's friend. You was a guide. You was being guided to go within, do the inner work, see your light, find your wisdom. Because you've been here many times before. This isn't the only time that you've been here. You've mastered so many things in previous lifetimes. You know, you are, you know, you're the bridge between realms, between the dimensions. You are the one that comes to show the, you know, you're the higher self once you awaken, to show yourself, to show others that it isn't just eat, sleep, repeat, you know, going to work, coming home, tired. There's more to this. And that you started to see that, and you started to, you know, because you was always, you know, you was always healing others anyway, because your light was so bright. You couldn't see it yourself, but others can. And every time people came into your energy, because Divine showed me in the show that, you know, you had to heal to then become the healer, but you was always healing anybody that came into your vicinity, anybody that came into your energy, anybody that you loved. They became healed. They would go out and literally find friends that they probably would never have been around before, because when you was giving your energy, no matter what that means to you, when you was truly giving your love to these people, they was draining your love. They was literally taking your light. They was becoming better people while you was being hidden away. And you was healing, like I say, you was healing others. And the divine, because this is what's coming through. Like, I want to pull a few more cards on this to get actually more clarity, because you was truly giving. It's like when they came around you, they'd have been tired, not had many people that believed in them. They didn't really understand themselves. They felt like they was the Lorna. They felt like they always had to crave the attention. And then when they come around you, they then became the one that had all the attention. They had your light. It's like they crave your light. And now that they're not in your light anymore, they are starting to be wounded again. So, yeah, I just want to clarify this, and I just want to see what further divine wants me to go into this. Because like I said, they are saying to me that, like, you know, because I think I've had this message before, that you really are the ones that heal the others and they leave you depleted. But divine's wanting you now to use that for yourself. Yeah, because you really was depleted. You was carrying too much. You was turning your back on everything because of this person. You know, you was really truly starting, because they was looking back and laughing. They knew exactly who you was. But you didn't. So they could keep playing within your energy and having you believe that you was the weak one when all along it was them. But I'm being shown that this was the mission all along. We come into certain families to heal certain family lines. Like, I was shown that, because I laughed at this obviously when I found out, because I like to do a lot for everybody. I'm always doing it. And they're short, you know, and I remember once asking, well, why did so and so happen? And they said, because you asked for that. And I said, I asked for all that. How was that possible? And I came in because, you know, there's a lot of the women on my side of the family that either went through domestic abuse in all manners, and they never got out of it. Maybe they ended up dying or taking overdoses, or, you know, whatever it was. They really wasn't strong enough to stop what happened. And, you know, their inner child, they grew up with their inner child holding them back all the time. And I was shown that before I came here, I sat and said, I will do all that. I will literally go in and do that. And I was told, you know, this is a lot. This is going to really crush you. And I said, well, I'll have my belief that I know that I'll come back to spirit, back to source. I will find my way back. You know, I'll get through all these landmines. I'll get through all these challenges. I'll get through all the sadness. You know, this resonates, you know. I will literally, you know, and then I will put a stop to it all. I will be the one that does this. And they were saying, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, just give it all. And at that I laughed at that part, because I'm always like, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. And Spirit's saying now that, you know, the purpose of it was for you to not, you know, to love the ones who came before in your child experience. That the people that come in are the catalyst for our change. that they say that basically, you know, I'm going to come in and destroy you, and like myself, I'd say, no, I'll understand in the end, you know. And that's why forgiveness is so important, in a roundabout way of saying, you know, I forgive these people for peace. It's for peace. It's for love to be sent back, that we are all one, all living the same experience all at the same time, past, present and future is all now. That whatever we think about now is what's in our future. Whatever our past, whatever we're thinking about is our now. So it's all one. And when we have the forgiveness and give thanks to our higher self, to our source, to spirit, to angels, to guides, for showing us and helping us, because one without the other is, you know, we can't be helped if we don't have the belief, and if we don't have the belief, we can't be helped. So we needed to go through said situation, yeah, for our magic to connect back to Mother Source, to connect back to Infinite, to connect to our higher self, to where our abundance is, to where the abundance is to be able to help others, to heal our family line. You know, you're the magician. You are a goddess. And if it's a masculine that I'm talking to, a male that I'm talking to you, we have divine, feminine and masculine in all of us. But we're the key. You are the key to your everything, to your thoughts, to your powers, to your intuition. Because if you don't work with your intuition is no good. Once you start to lovingly trust yourself, to work, you know, do small things each day, you know, maybe ask to see a certain thing that you wouldn't normally see, something's tiny, something small. And the more you start to work up that belief of what you've asked for that you're going to receive, you start to have that faith and trust and belief in yourself, and the knowing, like attracts like. It's like a constant loop. I think I did a short for this the other day. They're showing me a constant loop of flow. You know, it's constantly going around and around and around and around. And depending on how we're feeling, you know, because this is all about the emotions. This is all about how you feel is how you fill in your cup. How do you want to see yourself filling your cup? And you know, because this is all about the inner self, the inner thoughts, the inner illusions. They're playing the mind games. Our mind's playing games. This is where we now are coming into a time, yeah, of dancing in the sun. You know, we're in spring, coming up summer. This is going to be summertime where you're really going to see that the work that you've been doing this winter, you know, because it's what winter's all about, staying in, wrapped up, all cosy, you know, sitting with a nice cup, you know, whatever it is that you drink, a nice hot drink, sitting with family, keeping warm, telling stories, whatever that means to you, whether it's writing stories, creating videos. Once you come into the summer is where you're going to have that confidence. You're going to be dancing in the sunshine because you're going to feel that confident that nothing is going to, you know, your inner fire, you know, it's going to be radiating because you've found that inner worth. You've found the you've gone in and you're doing the work on yourself. You know, your wounded self. You're starting to see her now. You're really starting to, you know, like I say, if I refer to her, you know, it's like I say, it's male or female. We all have one left, you know, your left side of your brain is feminine, your right side's masculine. It's about bringing the two together. So if, like I say masculine, you know, or feminine, I am referring to both. Take that as, you know, as you may. But now, like I said, this is now about you finding now what's working. Yeah, like I say, you could be seeing crows, you could be seeing ravens. This is bringing messages forth. This is you learning wisdom. This is you now being able to stand in front of people and know your worth and know that what you're bringing forth is divinely sent. You know, you are being divinely guided. This is now where the old self of hiding away now is no more. Yeah, because like I say, you know, your inner self was just so controlled, just so, you were so angry, you were so depleted, you was just so, I can't do this anymore. And this is, like I said, this is why Divine asked for you to come in, because you've always had all the pentacles. We can literally destroy ourselves with the negative thoughts. We can literally have ourselves believe what others want us to believe. You know, and this is why Divine wanted you to go in. This is why Divine wanted you to work on yourself and find your balance. Because it's your time now. You know, you're the goddess. However you want to represent that for yourself. You was made within God's image. Therefore, what you believe is truth. You know, if God was here right now, what would you say? Yeah, because this is now about, you know, you not holding on to earthly matters anymore. Because, but they want you to have a balance of both. Because although you are coming into your spiritual self, you are still human. And sometimes we can get so lost in wanting to become something that we will start to lose ourselves on that path too. That, you know, then we only start to want to stay on, okay. You have been in, you know, you have been in hermit mode, or you are going into hermit mode, and maybe this is for you to, you know, this has been for you to see your true worth. But they are saying that they do want you to balance, have a balance, because without balance, spiritual life with your human life, because that's what you came here to do. You came here to experience everything and all at the same time. Because you are the messenger of Earth. And if you didn't have all these experiences, you won't be able to share and guide and help each other, because what could you actually know about if you didn't go through certain things? This is where now everything that you're learning, they want you to start writing everything down. They want you to start, or you want you to start, you know, let's just emphasise that massively then. You are the bridge between both. You know, and now you've started to do that work. You have started to balance yourself. Because you are both. You know? You are the one that's coming to bring the messages. So each time you have your thoughts and things, you know, write them all down. Start taking note of your knowledge, because sometimes we learn some knowledge, we come across some knowledge and we don't write it down and then we forget. You know, because this is what, like, you'll find so many affirmations, mantras for yourself that's going to help guide you in this time. Seeking wisdom. This is why you went into a hermit mode, because this has been your time of learning. This has been where you have been developing and understanding why you went through all this, because this is where, you know, you are going to start celebrating because you don't feel depleted anymore. So when you do find your true friends, you're going to appreciate and enjoy spending the time with them. You're going to start going out to parties. You're going to start, you know, but the old self would have gone out and there'd have been things that, like, you'll know what I mean. You know, there could have been arguments, there could have been things, you could have got upset, you could have been, whatever the situation is. That's not your reality anymore. You're not going to do that anymore. And you're going to take that leap of faith on yourself, because you've mastered who you are now, because you are the magician. And it's up to you now to create whichever reality it is that you see is your reality, not what others have told you and whatever you've seen before. This is about you now, knowing that you have everything within your hands to control and do whatever it is that you want to do now. This is now where you're feeling safe to be yourself, to not hide yourself away anymore. You've done so much healing, and they want you to be so proud of just how far that you have come with all that you know, it has taken time and it's been a lot for you to heal. But the fact that you took that chance on yourself, you should be very proud of that. Is there anything else that you want to know? Yeah, because this is what they want you to do. It's, you know, you're learning. Maybe you have your story that you need to tell to really, really help others heal. You know, maybe this is, well, not maybe, this is you now learning every opportunity that you get. This is you now, you know, doing things for yourself, because you are, you know, this is about this is about the mind. This is about you now having belief in yourself, and you're creating, well, you're telling the truth. You are now, like I say, you are the messenger of Earth. You know, this is where you now are feeling safe, and it's the right time to be able to speak your truth. So they want me to pull from this. Okay. Am I on the right path? Sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. Know this. You are right. You are on the right path. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Today, Search for all the ways that you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. See, you are on the right path, and this has been your soul mission all along. This is you now. This is you now. Even if you can't see it yet, it doesn't mean that it's not real. And I think this is one of the biggest things. We are surrounded by so many people who are not in belief of what we know. And it's not about being in ego, it's about having a balance of the ego. Because sometimes it can feel so overwhelming to be surrounded by people who don't understand. They don't know what your purpose is, but neither did you up until recently. Or maybe you've known for quite some time, some years. But still to be able to share. Some people are just not ready to listen. But you are on the right path. Search for all the ways that you are aligned with your soul's purpose. Like I said, to begin with, I ask, well, I still do, I do that every day. I ask for a sign. And, I'll ask for a specific bird, for instance. And I started off asking for one particular bird. And now I'll ask a certain question, and I'll ask for maybe 2 of those birds, because I've been doing this quite some time, but I'm still learning. And and I don't think that no matter how long you're on this journey for, that you're not going to be learning. We're always learning. There's always new experiences, new ventures, new people, new situations that we learn from. And this is why they call it the wise old mage, because it takes years to learn, to have that faith, and to listen to our guides, to our intuition. I was asked to speak to my tummy. This is one of my things that I do, when I'm asking if I am on the right track. Because obviously, when you're on this journey, there's not only messages that you're going to receive that are the right messages, you're also going to receive messages to have you been in an illusion. So I asked my tummy, can you show me when something feels right? And it took some time to sit with it, and I will sit there and I will, my tummy will start showing me what feeling it feels to feel nice. How does what I'm hearing feel good? And then you'll get this feeling. And like I said, sometimes, some people can do it straight away. But it didn't. It took me some time. I had so much going on, and there was always so much, and I have quite a very busy life. I've been through so much that, I didn't trust myself for a very long time, because I made so many, I didn't make so many, I chose so many things that was set to destroy me, and I had to fight my way up out of that hole. So it took a long time for me to gain that trust again. And then, like I said, once I started to feel what it felt like to feel good, then I asked, how does it feel when something is not right? Show me in my tummy how it feels when something is not right. So then Divine would show me. And then I started to, ask questions along the way and syncing with myself. And the more and more I've started to do that over the years, the more and more now I trust in everything that I know. But I also know when I'm shown something that is not for me. So like I say, now I'll ask for if I am doing the right thing, if I've done the right thing today, show me 3 large seagulls at the same time. And I will see 3 large seagulls. Because I know what I get shown, but I also need the clarity still. And this is, you know, where again, it's the trust in yourself to know that the messages that are coming forward. This is why I use my cards when I'm giving messages, because when I receive the message, I have to have the cards to clarify. And, you know, from what messages I receive, the cards definitely clarify them every single time. So this is what we were saying earlier, to search out, you know, to learn new ways, new knowledge now. This is about you receiving the knowledge. It's just going to come to you, you know, because like I say, you've gone in, you've done the inner work now. This is where you are receiving divinely guided messages, you know, and because like I say, you're the magician. Once you take that leap of faith and have belief in yourself, you will see. They are really emphasising just how proud of you that they are. Am I in my head or in my heart? What is the quality of your self-talk? Our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and the limitations will take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where your head meets your heart is where miracle happens. Today, master your mind. Watch an inspiring video. Do some tapping, as in some tapping. Read an empowering book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and your dreams. And maybe, you know, because I just said weed for a reason, maybe, you know, learn something before you light up your joint. Or maybe this is why sometimes that you didn't see through certain things, if maybe that you smoke, you know. So maybe it's like having a drink, isn't it? It's like the next day that you don't remember literally everything that happened. So maybe they're emphasising on, you know, maybe mastering your craft and then going having one maybe later on or something like that. I think that's what's coming through there. You know, to maybe use when needed rather than, well, not needed, when you choose to rather than needing it. Okay. Right, okay. So they want me to get you on from here. I hope this has resonated. If it has, I hope that you drop a like, a comment, maybe introduce yourself. That'd be really, really nice. Because I am new to doing this, and I you know, I would really like to know if it resonated, because this is a collective read. I don't charge or anything like that for reads, but I would like mutual energy if we can put a like if you do get this far. So don't allow anyone to abuse your power or take it away from you. Remember, you will be treated how you allow others to treat you. Show them that you value yourself far too much to settle for anything less than you deserve. So yeah, this is about you, because now, like I say, you've seen through all of this now. Don't lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. It is necessary to experience the difficult times. That is when you will grow most. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Be proud of your journey. So yeah, this is it. You came here to experience this. You came here to. Now I understand. Yeah, like I said, this is why they asked me to share that story. You did. You came here to experience the good and the bad. Because by you experiencing both, you can help and, you know, and show people that there is the light at the end of the tunnel, you know. Because you are the light at the end of the tunnel for most. I really hope this truly resonated, and I hope you find, you know, how beautiful that you are. You know, walk past your mirror every day and tell yourself that you love yourself. So important. It's so important. Because so many times that we've stood in front of that mirror and we've been heartbroken or we've told ourselves things, now it's time to start getting that trust back, to start telling yourself that you're worthy, to start seeing how absolutely truly amazing that you are. Yeah, because you are the healer. I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon or evening, depending on where it is that you've watched. Truly grateful if you got this far. Thank you. Take care.